Back at it again, baby, and we got another one with Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan. Let's dive in.
You make jokes for a living, right? You make lots of jokes for a living. How are you going to survive in this environment making jokes for a living?
Just piss people off. I mean, you're gonna always have people. You're gonna have more people upset with you, and there's more righteous indignation, I think, than I've ever seen in comedy. I've had more people furious at me for what are clearly jokes than ever at any other time in my career.
And this is the hardest thing, right? Because you make it something that's clearly a joke, and then somebody writes down the transcript of the joke, and now you have to explain the joke.
Right.
Well, that immediately kills it, because as soon as you explain a joke, it's no longer a joke. So if you make a joke that's politically incorrect, and then they write it down, and everybody who heard you at the time knows that you were making a joke, if they write it down and then you have to explain it, you've automatically exited the realm of jokes, and so now you're trying to explain the statement as like as true or decent, when that's not the point of the joke in the first place.
Yes, exactly. And you miss the context, you miss the way it was delivered, you miss the tone, you miss everything. But what they're doing is they're just trying to find targets. And I think that's one of the things that's happening with Roseanne. That's one of the things that's happening whenever anybody screws up in the media. You just get these people that they want a target. It's a game, and the game.
What happened with the Roseanne situation? I heard him say that's what happened with Roseanne. So I have no clue. Let me know in the comment section if you know.
Is take someone down. So that they want a target. It's a game, and the game is take someone down. The game is call someone out, take someone down, shame them. You know, get the Twitter mob and the Facebook mob. Get them after them. Let's go. Let's move. Let's start a hashtag. Let's attack Morgan Freeman. I heard he told a joke. You know, I mean, this is like. I mean, did you read the woman's account from CNN with her interview with Morgan Freeman?
I think we covered it, but I can't remember it.
He was playing God in a movie. You know, he's played God in a movie. And she asked him if you had magic power, what would you do with it? And he said, you wouldn't have a stitch of clothes on. That was the joke. That was it. And she was like, God, you mess with the wrong girls. And I'm number 17 out of all these girls that have come after you. And it's like, wow. You know, like he was on the spot. He's being interviewed. He's on a red carpet. He tries to crack a joke about you being naked. Like, is this really the worst thing that's ever happened to you? Is this really this, or is it just a joke? And when I'm looking at it, even in text, I find it to be silly.
But just a joke is dying.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like Joe Rogan is saying, you can't even make jokes. I made a joke, son. Like, it was a joke. Like, obviously, I'm not about to like strip you naked right here. You know, come on. Like, I haven't laid a single finger on you. I haven't like followed you around. You asked me a question, I made a joke on the spot. Nowadays, you have to like literally pause, stop, think. And by the time you do all that, like you've lost the entire moment. And then in situations where you do just respond, you know, in a joking manner, like people get all up in arms. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, you're mad at me because I made a joke, but like you want all these other people that have actually done these things to be free, to just be walking free. Like, it's crazy. Do y'all feel the same way? Let me know in the comment section. Why not? Talk to me, please.
It's really the worst thing that's ever happened to you. Is this really this, or is it just a joke? And when I'm looking at it, even in text, I find it to be silly.
But just a joke is dying, obviously.
Just a joke is still just a joke. It's just a joke.
Well, I think there is that backlash happening. It's one of the reasons why you've become incredibly popular, because you just don't care, right? I mean,
well,
and that's...
I feel like if you have you money and you don't say you, then who's going to?
Tell him again.
I feel like if you have you money and you don't say you, then who's going to? You know, who's going to? Like, I'm a good person. I'm a nice guy. I pay my taxes. I have a bunch of great friends and loved ones.
You have kids.
I have kids. I try to be nice to people. That's what I try to do. But if I see something that's ridiculous and I make fun of it and people get mad at me for that, that's on you. Well, that's on you.
This is why you...
That's one of the reasons why I love Joe Rogan, man. He got that you money. You know, the uncancelable money. Can we just get back to this? Like, please. Like, why is this so hard to do? I don't understand. We're just making jokes. Can we just laugh? Get a good laugh in. Laughing is good for the soul, baby. It's good for everybody when we get a good laugh in. So yeah, man, let's bring jokes back to the mainstream. Let's all make some jokes. Sheesh Louise, this stuff is ridiculous, man.
People get mad at me for that. That's on you.
Exactly.
Well, that's on you.
This is why so there's a picture of you along with the rest of the intellectual dark web in this big New York Times piece by Barry Weiss. I don't know, were you standing in a bush or something? Like, for some reason, everybody was in foliage taking these pictures. So what do you make of the whole intellectual dark web contingent? And there's been this now huge backlash by a lot of folks, particularly on the left, saying, what's up with this intellectual dark web? It's just a bunch of unacceptable, deplorable people talking with each other, and they don't have anything to say. What do you make of the whole phenomenon?
Well, the name is all Eric.
Right, Eric Weinstein, yeah.
Yeah, Eric is crazy, and he loves like all the cloak and dagger and all the hidden, just the name of it, intellectual dark web. It's like he concocted that.
It was Soros, yeah.
Oh, was it? Is he behind it? But Eric he's brilliant. I love him.
Oh, yeah.
And I love his.
Eric
I
is
love
the
his
smartest
mind.
person I have ever met and I can't understand half of what he's saying.
Yeah, he's a very intense guy, but
when you have Ben Shapiro stumped, you pretty darn smart, golly.
Of him.
Oh, yeah.
And I love his.
Eric
I
is
love
the
his
smartest
mind.
person I have ever met and I can't understand half of what he's saying.
Yeah, he's a very intense guy, but he loves all this stuff. He gets a kick out of it, and I think there's a certain amount of silliness in calling it the intellectual dark web. I mean, you and I are essentially in some sort of a super group. What are we in?
We're super friends.
We're
exactly.
Yeah, and what I felt was fascinating was that a lot of people were trying to label us as like deplorable conservatives. And like when they were saying this is a group of renegade conservatives. Well, I'm pretty liberal, like pretty liberal across the board. If you want to talk to me about gay marriage, you want to talk to me about gay rights, women's rights, like
drugs.
You go down the line. Universal health care, universal basic income. I mean, I'm pretty liberal. Like but it doesn't fit the narrative. I mean, I look like a Trump supporter, right? So like,
Is it white and buff or what?
Yeah, I'm a white bald guy. It works out too much. There's a lot of there's a lot of need to label someone into an easily dismissible category, and that category is conservative, like ruthless. There's a lot of need to label someone into an easily dismissible category.
That is spot on. Joe Rogan dropping the truth bomb. My goodness. You know, and like I said, like he said, I'm pretty sure I've stated it before as well. If what you are saying does not fit the narrative, you're automatically a right extremist. Oh, he's a far right extremist, or you're an Uncle Tom. You're a bootlicker. It's just like, wait, what? You know, and it's crazy because oftentimes the individuals that are saying these things accuse the other party of being an ist or a phobe. And it's just like, wait, but you're the one calling me all types of names. I haven't called you a single name. So how am I the R word, you know, that ends with ist? How is that me? You're calling me names. You're calling me an Uncle Tom. You're calling this other white gentleman, if you guys remember I want to say his name was Kingface, the video we checked out of him talking to some older guy at some corner store. He called Trump a white saltine. I don't know if YouTube would penalize me for saying that. He called Trump a white saltine. C word. And I was just like, wait, huh? You're accusing Trump of being R word, but then you just call him that? Like, how does that even make sense? You know, and you see that all the time. It's crazy.
And that category is conservative, like ruthless, nasty, mean, a person who's not kind, you're not a person who's caring about other people. You're a conservative. You're a mean bully, mean, mad white man. As what is his name that said that to Jordan Peterson in the Monk debates? Michael Dyson, I think his name.
Oh, Michael Eric Dyson?
Yes,
Michael Eric Dyson?
yes, that's who it was.
Michael Eric Dyson. Yeah.
He called Jordan Peterson a mean, mad white man. Mad Me, one of those.
Yeah.
But it's there's this need to categorize.
Except for Ryan
people.
Hersey Ali and Christina Hoff Sommers
Yeah.
and half the people who are members of the
Yeah.
members of the club.
Majid, yeah.
Exactly. Dave Rubin, who's gay, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's this really like bizarrely diverse group, and
weird
really ideologically diverse too, because
Yes.
it's a bunch of people. I mean, like Brett Weinstein, who's a member of our secret group. Right? He's a socialist. He backed Bernie Sanders in the last election cycle.
Yeah.
And so what do you think generated? Was it just the political correctness, the insanity of the hard left that threw everybody out?
Dishonesty. It's dishonesty. It's the same thing that led to what happened with Brett Weinstein at Evergreen when they had this day of absence where they wanted all white people to stay home. And he's like, "Hey, this is racist. Like you're absolutely targeting people based on their race and saying you're not welcome here. This is a day, instead of it being a day of absence where people of color stayed home voluntarily and weren't chastised if they didn't. Instead of that, it was no, white people have to go away. And if you don't, you are a racist." And this is what happened with Brett. And it's a terrifying story. And when I interviewed him on my podcast, it was before he had left Evergreen. He was still employed there. And he was talking to me about mobs that were wandering the parking lot with baseball bats. And they were looking for him. And it was terrifying. I mean, he had to take his family out of the state. And who is this? Are these Nazis? Are these the KKK? Are these right-wing thugs? No, they're extreme progressives with pink hair who are, non-binary sexually. Like, it's
That is absolutely positively ridiculous. A man can't even go into his place of work. And once again, this goes along the lines of what I just was talking about. They accuse the other side of being the R word that ends with ist or a phobe, and yet they are. Oh, no white people allowed. What? How does that even make sense? Like, we fought to end that era, and now you want to bring us back to it? Come on. The ridiculousness. And because he showed up to work, like, no, I don't need to stay home. Like, I'm going into work. Because he showed up, you're mad? And you trounce around the parking lot with baseball bats? You come up on the wrong person with a bat, threatening their life. I think we all know what possibly could happen. That you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. That stuff is ridiculous. If Joe Rogan were to go trance around a parking lot looking for somebody, the whole world would go into a blaze. Oh my God, what Joe Rogan? He's a far right extremist. It's ridiculous, man. We got to stop this madness immediately.
very bizarre. And there's a lack of reality that you have to adhere to this narrative. And if you're not adhering to this narrative, then you are some horrific person who is a product of the past, and you're a part of the patriarchy, and it's not an honest discussion. These, and if you see all the people that are involved,
if you don't agree, you're the enemy. There's no differing of opinions. If you're not in that echo chamber, whatever they say, if you don't repeat it back, you're an enemy. And that is totally bogus.
In this, air quotes, intellectual dark web, the one thing they have in common, all of them are going, what in the is everybody talking about? Like, what is this? What's happening here? Like, why are we pretending that men and women aren't different things? Why are we pretending that to tell people that you have to stay home because you're white? It's racist. That is absolutely racist by definition. That's what racism is. You're discriminating against someone based on their race, not based on their character or their job position or anything else. You're just white people.
It's crazy, man. I don't even need to repeat what I just said, but yeah, all that stuff is ridiculous. Obviously, shout out to Joe Rogan, shout out to Ben Shapiro. Love these guys here, especially Joe Rogan, man. He got that FU money. And you could tell in the way that he speaks. Ben Shapiro as well. They both got that FU money. They really don't care. But I love that Joe Rogan said it, man. That's beautiful. But as always, y'all let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Do you guys agree with my statement on bringing good comedy back where we just don't even think. We just speak. You know, we're not out here to hurt somebody's feelings. We just making jokes, baby. But yeah, let me know if you guys feel the same way. Do you guys agree with what Joe Rogan was also stating in terms of? But yeah, let me know how you feel in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. It's right over there. Click that thing right over there. All right. And after you do that and subscribe, check out that video too. You might like it. Peace and love. I'm out.